Very good morning, guys. Can you hear me? Let me know in comments if you guys can hear and see me. Very good morning, Ansul. Can you guys see me and hear me? Let me know in the chat. Hey, Ansul, can you hear me? Hey, Anand, very good morning. Just want to know, can you guys hear me or see me? Oh, okay. Thanks, Sachin, for answering. Thanks, Anand. So we'll wait for some more minute and then we will start our session. So I hope everyone has taken breakfast and now they're ready to take this class. I know we are connecting within the 12 hours only. We ended our class at I think little bit late yesterday and then we are joining little early today morning. I hope you guys are not feeling sleepy or anything like that. Right, guys? Great, Anand. Very good morning, Sarath. Hey, I think when I moved to IT industry, like when I started working in this IT industry's job, so you guys know that the culture of sir and madam has gone away there. So you have to like even if the person who is your manager who is having experience more than 15 years, you have to call him with his first name only. So I would say to you guys also to no need to say sir in front of me. I'm okay. Like you can take my name. I'm okay with that. And because as I am not following that culture, so that's why I also don't want to others to follow that culture for me. And I think this is very common thing. And why it happens because we are working with like foreign clients, and they generally like love to hear their name. So that's why everywhere in IT industry this culture has changed. So That is right, Suraj. But like, just I was just suggesting to you guys, because sometime when from the childhood we are saying sir to everyone. So when we start working on IT industries, so we also say the same thing to them, and they continuously tell us, like, I also has the same way to talk with seniors in my company. Like, I generally say that, sir, how are you, how are you doing, sir? So you guys know that they will reply, do not say me sir, and then they will start conversation. So that's why I was just saying to you, I also face the same problem. So I work with multiple countries clients. So I work with Singapore clients, I work with Israel clients, I work with UK and US. So these are four type of clients I work, and they also follow the same culture. But yeah, that's all comes from the inside. But yes, on IT industries, I would say that try to follow this culture also there. Yeah. So let's see. We have already spent 4 minutes. We can wait for one more minute for people to join. I know it's morning, and most of the people are still sleeping. So let's wait for one more minute, and then we can start our session. So if the people who are in colleges, I can definitely say that they would be like sleeping late, because every weekend nights, whenever like Saturday Sunday comes, they have to sleep, like they have to wake up like extra night, or like playing game or talking. That happens generally in hostels. Ah, I see. I can understand the reason. I can totally understand the reason. So I think, yeah, if that's the case, so let's start our session today. So, yeah. Oh, actually, I'm still waiting for that. So in PayPal, they are saying, because in the PayPal, you have to work for 1 year, and then you will get chance to move into other organizations or to other location. I got the chance in IBM for one London opportunity, but suddenly this COVID hits. So because like I have worked, I think more than 2 years in 2020, right when the COVID hits. So at that time I was getting the opportunities, or yeah, 2021. Sorry, yes. So at that time COVID hits, and they have like stopped traveling, so I have to work continuously from here. Before that, I also got, see, in India, they also provide you to go work on, like on-site companies in India only. Like you have to go through Mumbai and work on client location. They will provide you very like royal, what do you say, like all the royal things will be there. You will be staying in five-star hotel and all those things. So that happens with me. I went to Pune and stayed there for 2 months. So that was not like the foreign opportunity, but similar to that, I would say. Thanks, Ankit. I see. Let's see when that happens. Okay, guys. So let's start our session today. So I know in starting 2 days sessions, we were totally discussing about the JavaScript, Node.js, right? And like we started with Node.js, and then while we are studying about Node.js, we get to know about the Node.js environment, right? We understood what is Node.js, we understood what is synchronous, what is asynchronous, right? We understood what is call stack, we understood what is callback queue, what is event loop. These things we have understood, right? We understood what is blocking, what is non-blocking, correct? And after that, I also told you a little bit about Node.js as well, like on the project side, where we created some of the modules, understood the import and export. These things we understood. And in yesterday class, that was totally different. Yesterday class was totally different whatever we discussed in the last two calls, right? Because the yesterday call was totally on the object oriented. So whatever we discussed in yesterday's call, that was fully towards the objects. How can we create objects? How can we manipulate objects? What are the different ways we can create objects? We get to know that the class, like when we want to create an object, multiple objects which are going to have same properties, same methods, we could go with class. And we also understood that like everything in JavaScript is an at the end it's object, except some of the primitive types like binary and string. We also understood like we can create objects in many ways, right? With the constructor we can create the object with classes as well. Then we understood some of the some of the class concepts, like the components of class, yeah, I would say, like what is the getter, what is the setter method, then what are the private variables, what are the normal methods, right? These things we have understood. Then we also understood the inheritance and encapsulation. These two concepts also we understood, right? And yeah, so the bigger concept which we understood, that was prototyping chaining. That thing we also understood, right? That was I would say from the yesterday class, two things you need to remember. How can we create class? And then what's the purpose of creating class? That thing you have to understand, that thing you need to remember. And the second thing which you need to remember, that is prototype chaining. What is the purpose of prototype chaining? How JavaScript is doing that? These two things, if you are remembering from the yesterday's call, that's fine. All other things you can like those things will come and go. But these two things, if you will remember, then everything you will be able to understand. Okay, guys. So let's start today class. So I think I have already seen the topic. Let me show you the topics today. So first topic, let me just go through all the slides once, and then we will discuss about. So first topic is synchronous. Then we have some examples. Then our topic is asynchronous. Then some examples. Then our topic is callback. Then some example. Then our topic is call stack. Then some example for that. Then our topic is callback queue. Then some explanation about callback queue. Then our topic is callback hell. Then some explanation about that. Then our topic is timer, set timeout and set interval. And then our slides ends, right? This is the last part. And then we have the counter timer app, correct? And then our slide ends. So I know I have already gone through a lot of topic in this, right? I have already talked about the synchronous and asynchronous. I already talked about the callback, call stack. I already talked about the call stack, callback queue, right? So the topic which we haven't discussed thoroughly, that was callback and callback hell, and some of the timers. I think set timeout you already know. We will discuss, but we will still discuss about it. Okay. So let's start. You guys tell me about what is synchronous and what is asynchronous. I have already given you analogy of the on that, but I want still from you guys to tell me what is synchronous and what is asynchronous. How do you guys have understood that? So let me know in the chat, or if somebody wants to speak, so raise hand. So first let me know about what is synchronous. As we can see in the slides as well, but what you have understood with the synchronous, that I want to listen or I want to read. Yes, Suraj is saying one time only one thing happened. Okay, executing one at a time, single task at a time is synchronous, right? A sequence one by one control is transferred. It's a sequence which will be run one by one. Okay, first line, then second line. So we can say it's a sequence and then it is running one by one. Okay. Synchronous means sequential. Yeah, it's same thing. Yeah, sequential. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Kamlesh. Okay. So I think, yeah. So we have understood synchronous, right? The synchronous mean the task or whatever we are going to execute, that is going to happen in a sequential way, like one thing after another, and then the next thing, then the next thing. As I have already told you the tea and Maggie analogy, right? So first we will fully prepare the Maggie, then we will go for the tea. That was a synchronous example. In synchronous, we have wait for response until the first request get the response, then other request will go further. Yes, in synchronous that happens only. That's already telling you guys that first thing will complete, then we will go for the next one. This is all about synchronous. Now let's talk about the asynchronous, right? What is asynchronous? Asynchronous take multiple requests. Okay, okay. Anyone else? See, with the help of asynchronous, we can take multiple requests. But if we talk about the async or like asynchronous, we will not say it's about taking multiple requests. Like we will take something more about the asynchronous, right? Multiple tasks happening in the waiting time. Okay, happen in the waiting time. Executing multiple tasks. Async does multiple tasks at a time. Okay. So okay, so that's what you guys have understood. It does not wait for complete the first task. Okay, it is multiple tasks at a time. Okay, okay. So what I'm getting from the response, all responses here. Okay, now when one task is getting done, there is another one we can be perform in asynchronous approach. Okay, yes, that could be that definition could be little bit make better sense, right? When we want our code to not follow convention of execution thread. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so guys, you guys are going like too deep on the definition, right? Okay, so see, simple meaning of asynchronous, I would say, we do not want immediate result. We do not want immediate result. We can wait for the response, right? So async means we do not want immediate result. We can wait for response and it can come later, whenever we want, right? So like just simply take the example of like uh, we can say simple take the example of we say the example of promise. Let's take that example of promise, right? So consider in your family, you have your brother birthday on next week. Okay, you have birthday on next week. Now you tell to your friend, hey man, like you can tell his name was Rahul. Hey Rahul, I want cake for my brother for next week. What he will tell you? WhatsApp messages. Ristik, uh, what do you mean by WhatsApp messages? Can you guys not hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Ah, okay. Sorry. Example of async you are saying WhatsApp messages. No, actually, in WhatsApp messages, those could be sync as well, right? Okay, let me relate this example. Okay, let me complete my example. Then we will relate the WhatsApp one. Okay. So I was taking about the birthday example, right? So the birthday example was, so you tell your friend Rahul, I want the cake for my brother next week. So what he will say? Okay, I promise you, I will provide the cake. I will bring the cake on your for your birthday on next week. That's what the that's what the Rahul has made promise to you. Now we can say and now on the birthday on the next week when your brother's birthday is there, he brought the cake. Correct. So now this is the asynchronous thing which we did, right? Where we said that we do not want result right now. We can wait, and for that waiting, we have made some promise, right? And then on the day when the birthday is, and that day Rahul has brought the cake to us, and then we can cut the cake and then we can follow the ceremony whatever is there. So that's what the asynchronous thing which we did, where we do not want result right now. We can wait for some time, and then when the day is there, then we can then that particular thing can happen. Correct. So that's the example of asynchronous, right? So have you guys understood now the asynchronous one? I think you guys have already told everything correctly, right? We can do multiple tasks. We can we can leave our execution thread as well, but the visualization should be like this. Okay. Okay. So let me just tell you. Okay, so before moving there, let's again talk about the call stack as well. So what is call stack? So we will finish the call stack and callback queue as well, and then we will go into the. I will show you something there, which will make the all these things a little bit more visualization. So let me know now what is call stack. What have you guys understood with the call stack in JavaScript? Oh, where and tell me also where it reside. Does it reside in I would say in the like JavaScript engine, or in it is libv where it reside? Okay, so it reside in V8 engine. That's totally correct answer. It reside in V8 engine. So Riaz is saying layer of task. Okay, layer of task you can say, layer of task. Okay, so like simply if we talk about the stack always work in last in first out. So whoever is inserted in last, that person will be goes first. So that's the definition of a stack, right? In similar way call stack work, but how it is relating with JavaScript. So that just add that ingredient in the definition. Call stack first in last out. Okay, first in last out. Okay, or last in first out. Okay, stored a task in V8. Okay, V8. Okay, it stores execution context of functions with global execution context at the bottom. That's right, Vishal. That definition is also totally right. See, whenever we can say we have one JavaScript file like test.js, correct, and we want, and in that test.js we have 5 methods which we are going to execute, correct. So now first time when that file will be going into the JavaScript engine, so first we will keep in call stack our global execution context, correct. What is the meaning of global execution context? Global execution context means all the parsing which we are which we, because see, when our file convert into when our file goes to the JavaScript engine, that goes into form of tokens. Then we create a tree. If you will read about the flow, that's fine, Nilanjan. So we haven't talked much about that. So we have just discussed the synchronous, asynchronous, and right now we are just talking again about the call stack. Okay, guys. So yeah. So as I was saying, so when we create a new file in JavaScript and which that file has 5 functions, so we would say that when this file is going to execute in JavaScript engine, so first some things happens, right? Which is the phases in JavaScript engine, and those phases are the parsing, then the tree creation, and then after we execute those things. When these things happen, so we create one context, right? And that context first, and that context is called that global execution context. In that global execution context, we have we already define what are the scopes here, what are some of the memories which we are going to add. All these things happen there, and then we will put these global execution context as a first thing in the call stack. And then once the global execution context has we kept it in call stack, then we will start reading file one line by one line, as we are reading till now, correct. So that's what happened in the call stack, correct. And I already told you everything in JavaScript goes to call stack, and whatever we are writing in synchronous way, that all those things will be executed one by one in the call stack, because it's a stack which is going to be last in first out or first in last out. So in that way everything will be executed, and then when we do not have anything in the call stack, then global execution context also popped out, and then our call stack is empty. And I already told you earlier in the class, when our call stack is empty, event loop is there which continuously check the callback queue, right. And in that callback queue, whatever callback are residing there, it will pick those callback and put it back into the call stack, correct. I already showed you all these things earlier, right. And so that's all about the call stack. That's the purpose of call stack. And now if you talk about the callback queue, so whenever we are doing any asynchronous programming, or whenever we are writing any asynchronous functions, so I already told you every asynchronous function has one callback with them, correct. And callback, and what is callback? Callback is a simple function which we add with which we add with all the asynchronous functions, right. So that's all callback comes once they complete all the asynchronous work, then they all come to the callback queue, correct? And then from that callback queue, they goes into the call stack. That flow I have already showed you, right? So let's see these all these four things in little bit visualization manner, right? So there is one website. Let me share my screen. And where we will see these things. I think the name was, let me check my notes where I've written the name for that. Yeah, latent flip. Latent flip. So this is the one person who has created the website to just visualize these callback and call stack and with the live JavaScript file. So let me open it. You guys can also test it in your free time. I will just pass this URL to you. Let me go into the yeah, relevant platform, and let me add this URL so you guys can later play this URL. I will show you how it is working. I hope you guys are able to see my screen right now. Yeah, great. Okay, so now this is the like sample example or default example they have provided us, right? But we will add our own examples here, correct? So you can see this is some UI they have given where we can, like, if you see simple this example, let's see this example, then we will move into our own examples. So in this example, you can see they have provided one button to us. When we will click on this button, once set timeout timer will be triggered, and then after 2 seconds, that timer will return one callback to us, and in that callback, we will just simply consoling it out the output. That's what happening here. And these are some like synchronous things are happening. We are just simply console.log. We are doing console.log. Then again, we are doing some asynchronous work where we are again triggering one set timeout for 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds, this callback method will be triggered here. Correct? And this is simple synchronous thing. So let's see this thing first. Then or let me, yeah, let's see this thing first, and then we will do the then we will do our own things one by one. And you can see this is the call stack. These are some of the web APIs. Like in our case, right now we are handling with the set timeout. Correct. So these all things will come under the web APIs. This the orange one. This is our event loop. This is our callback queue where all the callback will come. Like for the set timeout, this is our callback, right? For this set timeout, this is our callback. This callback will come, and then after that, you will see this callback will come into the call stack for execution. Okay, let me see if you guys can still hear me and see me. Can you guys see? Okay, yeah, Ankit, that there is a web API. That's right. So on the browser, all these things happen with the help of web API only, right? Web APIs provide you set timeout. Web APIs provide you the fetch methods. Web APIs provide you a lot of things like console.log also are provided by web APIs in browsers, right? So that's why we have the web APIs there. And then these web APIs put the, like, if there is any OS needed, then these web APIs will pass that request to OS also. Like in the net in the case of fetch, when we want to fetch Netflix server data, and on those requests, web API just simply pass those requests to OS, and then OS will make the network call, and then once the network call is success, that result will come back to web APIs, and then web API will take that callback and put it into the callback queue. That simply happens. And then we are seeing the same example with set timeout. Correct? Set timeout is working the same way. So let's see this example. So let me save plus run. So what I'm expecting, this is one, we can say asynchronous behavior. Once we will wait for button click. Once the button click will happen, only then this callback will run. See, I already told you every asynchronous thing is going to take one callback. You can see this is the callback for button click. Once the button click will happen, this callback will run. And once this callback will run, this is all automatically triggering one more asynchronous behavior, which is set timeout. And in this set timeout, again, when we have a one callback, which will be triggered after 2000 seconds. So let's save plus run it. Let's see what is happening. It will happen a little bit faster, but let's see. So see, first the button has come. Now the button web API has been triggered there. Correct? Now the console.log high has been gone. I think you guys have not seen it. It went a little bit faster. So let me run again. You just see in the call stack. One more time. See, the button has come. Now the high has come. That's next set timeout has come, and the welcome to the loop has come. Now set timeout is running. Now set time has come to the callback queue, and then the click the button has come. Correct. Now this web API is waiting for my trigger. So let me click me. Once I click the click me, you can see now the again set timeout has come into the call stack, and then the set timeout has once the set timeout was completed, it again came back to callback queue, and then it went to the call stack. So this was happening very fast. So let me just break this thing in front of you one by one. Okay. Have you guys see first? Let me know in the chat. Did you guys notice like, whatever we are discussing, it's happening there or not? And I have already given you the URL, so you guys can try it on yourself as well. But let me show you guys a little bit about the call stack. I have just cleared it out everything. Let's create a synchronous behavior first. So let's see. First I will be called. So it's a console. It will be first called, right? Then I will say I am creating one function, which will be called second, right? And I will be simply running console.log. Hey, I will be called second. I will be called second. Correct. And from inside this, you can call one more function, like third. We will create this third function down, right? We can call one more function from here, because JavaScript, in JavaScript, functions are the first class thing. First class things means we can call function from anywhere. We can pass function inside a function. That's what we do in the callback also, right? We pass that function in another, right? So you can see third is there. You can simply say I will be called third. Hey, I will be called third, right? This is the one synchronous behavior we are trying to do here. So let's see and save plus run, and observe in call stack, because now things will not go anywhere. They will run in the call stack because everything is synchronous. Let me save plus run it. You can see first I will call. Oh, sorry, I haven't called the second. So let me call the second first. I see I haven't called the second, so that's why only the first thing has been run. And see, we haven't now we can open the console also, right, to see the behavior, like how things are working. Yeah, let's run it now. See, first I will be called. First I will be called printed. Now second has called. Second has been printed. Hey, I will be called second. Then third has been called. Then second has been out of the stack. That's how the synchronous behavior is working in the call stack. That's what I told you that. Okay, zoom the screen. Okay, let me zoom the screen. Yeah. So that's what the Zoom. Yes, yes, Anand. The functions are first class citizen in the JavaScript. But all the first class citizen things, and the meaning of first class citizen, we can pass function in function. We can assign function in one variables. Like we can do multiple things with the functions. That's why yesterday in yesterday class also I told you that there is two things in JavaScript, which is first is object, second is function. If you know these two things, you are okay. You can learn anything in the JavaScript. You can write any code in JavaScript. Okay, so now we have understood the synchronous thing. So now let's try to do something asynchronous, right? So let's try to write. Let's try to write one set timeout also. Okay, so set timeout, and this will be triggered. Let's trigger this after second. First call the second, and then we will trigger the set timeout here. Right, and I already told you that every asynchronous thing always take one callback, and callback is also again a function which we pass in another function. Set timeout is a function. Now inside this we are passing another function which is our callback. Correct. And then we are like after 2 seconds we want it to complete, and in this callback we are printing, hey, I will be called so last. I will be called before last console. I will add one more console. I will be called after last console. After last console, because this is asynchronous behavior, right? And now at the end, I will add one more console.log. Hey, called, I will be called before set timeout callback. Set timeout callback, right? That will happen, right? Let me see if I can. Okay, so like I'm not sure you guys can able to see everything or not, but let me just reduce the size. It might be because of size. Let me first reduce it, then I will again. Yeah, I think this is good. Here, one more. Yeah. Okay, so are you guys able to see it? What I did? Are you guys able to see it? Yeah. Okay, great. So what I did in the older code, after second, I added one send timeout and I added one console. And I want to show you that due to asynchronous behavior, this set timeout will be called at the last. Because I told you async mean we do not want result right now. We want result later stage. So that's why this callback will be triggered after 2 seconds. So that's why I want to show you this log, this console will come first, then this console will come. So let me run it. Let me clean the console and let me quickly run it. So you can see first the console.log, then second is coming, then third is coming. Third has been completely, second is popped out. Now set timeout has come. Set time has got first function. And now the set timeout last console is coming. And if you see the console result also, you will see, hey, I will be called. So this is the first console. Then the function is, hey, I will be called second function. Then the third function, hey, I will be called third person is there. Then the last console is coming, hey, I will be called before set timeout callback, because we want this set timeout to after run 2 seconds. So that's why we are successfully achieve it. So now you can see after 2 seconds, I will be called after last console. That's what is coming. So that's what I want to show you guys here about the asynchronous, synchronous, call stack, and callback queue. Okay, guys, are we good here? Okay. Okay. So okay. So now if we check the slides here, I have already given you the URL. You guys can play it out. If you guys any of the problems, you can automatically check there. You can you can try some more web APIs also, fetch and other APIs as well. You will just find out the examples and try it out there. Okay. So let's move further now. So we have covered the synchronous. We have covered the asynchronous. Okay, so let's talk about callback also. I think I have told you like multiple times what is callback, what is callback, what is callback. But you guys tell me, what have you understood with the callback? As you can see, I have used callback multiple times. So can you guys let me know in the chat what you guys have understood with the callback? If somebody is asking to you what is callback, what you will answer him? Right in the chat. Because we are going to use callback or like the asynchronous behavior a lot of time in our Node.js applications. So that's why you need to understand the callback. You just need to understand the why we need callback. But I am saying you later stage, you like there will be very rare cases you are going to use callback. I will say you why. I will tell you in the some seconds why. Function passed in parameters. Okay. Yes, that's what we have seen it. Like in all asynchronous functions, we are trying to pass it as a pass parameters. Correct. A function which is called by the other one. A function which is called by the other one. Is it okay? Pass function as a arguments in a function. Okay, that's what we have already discussed. That's what like Dipanshu was also trying to say the similar thing. So see, the reason of callback. See, understood the meaning of call back means a function you want to call, like you want to call it later. That's why you are saying call back. So that's the meaning of callback, just simply understood. That's right. We have to pass it as a arguments in the function, and then the real purpose of callback is to achieve asynchronous behavior we simply pass callback in all the asynchronous functions, so we can call these callback later. And why we want to call back later? Maybe we want to do something when we get the result, right? See, simply take the example of if you want to prepare let's see, if you want to prepare one burger, if you want to prepare burger, so the first method for preparing burger would be and you want to prepare veg burger, correct? If you want to prepare veg burger, so the first step would be get veggies, right? And for that get veggies, only after getting veggies you will do the next thing, which will be cut veggies. Like first you will get the veggies, then you will get the then you will cut those veggies, then you will get the buns for burger, right? And two buns is there. Then once you get the buns, now you will put all those veggies in between the buns, right? Then your burger is ready, correct? So now if we talk about this same scenario in the asynchronous way, so we will say that once we get for once only we get the veggies, only after that we can call the cut veggies function. If we are not getting the vegetables, how can we cut it? So that's why when we will write the get veggies function, at that time we will pass one callback, right? So once we get the veggies, then only simply do the calling for cut veggies. So that's why callback helps you in a lot of ways. Callback always give you a way to do things later which you want to do after getting the result. Simple example I've told you, right? The get vegetable and cut vegetables. You will only cut vegetable once you get it. And once you will get, like, you can understand a simple example, like for getting veggies, you went to fridge, you open the fridge, and then you get the veggies. It could take some time, right? It could take like 2 seconds or 3 seconds, right? For that time you will not wait, right? Your JavaScript program will not wait. So what you will do, you will put some set time out there, that after 2 seconds only give me the get veggies result, and then go for the cut veggies, correct? So that's why callback helps you a lot. So once the 2 second will be completed, then you will get one callback, and in that callback you will call the cut veggies method. That's what the callback purpose is. So callback are very important in JavaScript. So but understanding the importance or everything is fine, but you need to understand why we need it. That's the very important thing. uh, Suraj is saying, sorry, my internet is slow. Can you just refresh your page? I tried it yesterday and it works for me. Everyone was able to see me and hear me properly after that. So let's see if that works for you. Okay, so now we are okay with the callbacks, right, guys? Have we understood the real intent of callbacks? Okay, great. Let's move further. We have understood the call stack also. So let's move further. Callback queue also we have already understood. Okay, one thing I want to tell you about the queues, which I haven't told you. So I think this is the time, or yeah, I think let's talk about that also. So callbacks are asynchronous. Callbacks are asynchronous. No. Callbacks are simple function. We use them to achieve asynchronous behavior. Callbacks are simple functions. We use these callbacks to achieve asynchronous behavior. Got it? Callbacks are simple function. I told you the example, right? Like get veggies. The get veggies is a function which is going to be behave asynchronously, because get veggies will take some time, because we need to open the fridge and then bring the vegetables outside of that fridge. So that get veggies is going to take some time. So now we need to make this function as a asynchronous. So once we have decided now get veggies is going to be asynchronous, so we will put one callback function inside that get veggies. So once the get veggies is completed, then we will do the next thing with the help of callback. And callback is simple function. And in that callback, yes, get veggies will take time to prepare, right? And then after that time, once the preparation is done, now we will get back those results in callback method. Like the way we pass arrow functions in map, reduce. Yes, that's true. Those are also callback functions. Those are also callback functions. Okay, guys? Because JavaScript is a, like in JavaScript, function is a first class citizen, so we can do a lot of things with function. We can pass like multiple function inside function, like we can do nesting of functions as well. That's what the callback hell are. We will discuss about it, but before that I want to discuss one more thing with you about the same structure which I showed you. Let me, which just you guys need to remember about it. Just you guys have to remember. I'm just drawing it about the JavaScript structure, right? Let me choose the pen. So yeah, so like yeah, you guys remember whenever our JavaScript files comes, we got the call stack, correct? This is our call stack. Then in this callback, all the task comes, right? Or all the function comes. Task one, task two, everything comes here, correct? Then we have one event loop, correct? This is our event loop. Can we achieve infinite call stack or stack overflow callback if they are not called properly? Yes, yes, actually, if we can very easily achieve it. You see, create one function like get func, right, and call the same function again and again. Get func, and we internally call get func again and again. That will go into the infinite loop, infinite callback. It will never end. It will go stack overflow. Take the example. Yeah, with the help of recursion also we can simply achieve it. See, this is the okay, okay. So let's see. Uh, See, that's why we have to maintain them very like nice way. See, this is one function like get func. This is our function, right? And inside this function, call the get func again. Now this loop will never end. This will be going into the our like stack overflow or call stack overflow, something like that. So that's why while writing function in JavaScript, we need to be a little bit careful that they should not be putting into any like these type of scenarios. Okay, guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have yeah. So what I was trying to explain here. So we have call stack, we have event loop, then we have our web APIs here. A lot of web APIs which interact with all like OS as well, and multiple things are happening here. Then we have a callback queue. Callback queue. Correct. And what happens, everything for like whatever is asynchronous things are coming, it will go into the web APIs. From web APIs it will come into the callback queue, because every asynchronous function or asynchronous method is going to have one callback. Now guys, just one thing, that's one new thing I am introducing here, which you just need to remember. Sometimes people ask in interviews, I've just recently seen, sometimes they're asking, but other than that, no need to no need to no need to what to say like serious about that, like how this are, how that is happening and how this that is not happening. Here in event while we're talking about the callback queue, there is one more queue comes into the picture. Actually, the callback queue is also called as macro task queue. Macro task queue. And there is one micro task queue is also there. Micro task queue. And this micro task queue has a more priority than callback queue or macro task queue. Which one has more priority? Micro task queue. And in both queues, callbacks only come. In both queues, callbacks only come. But there is just a small difference. In micro task queue, only two type of callbacks are coming. I have read it recently. In micro task queue, only two type of callbacks come. First one, those are coming from promises. I will show you. That's why I was thinking I should talk about this right now or not. But yeah, I will talk about the promises. First type of callback which are coming from the promise. Those type of callbacks are coming in microtask queue. And I was reading one more type of callback. Those are, I think, in the front end. Those are called mutation server. I'm not sure about that. I haven't read it, but I just read it in the internet. Those are mutation type callback, mutation server callback. These are two type of callbacks which comes into the micro task queue, and these type of callbacks get more priority than these type of callback queue. In this type of callbacks, like set time outcomes, right? Input output comes, like all other callbacks, whatever we are doing, those all callbacks come into the callback queue. But the promise one and the mutation server, these two type of callbacks come into the micro task. And once some so now the flow, how flow will work. Once now the event loop first will check in the micro task queue, and if nothing in the micro task queue is there, then it will go for the callback queue. That's the thing you need to understand, you need to remember. There's nothing new. It just I added one more queue in near to callback queue, and that queue is called at microtask queue. It's not mentioned in the slide, but I thought to share with you because we are going to talk about promise after some time. So that's why I told you. That's why I thought to share with you that the promise callbacks are not comes. They do not come into the callback queue or the macro task queue. They have their own different queue, and all the promise callback and mutation server, they come here, and they got priority compared to callback queue. I hope I am not making any nonsense things. I'm just like whatever I'm trying to say here, you guys are able to understand, right? I will show you this thing in examples also. Okay, guys. So just try to remember this thing. I want to add this thing that about the micro task queue because I haven't told this thing to you while discussing the internal component. Okay. So let's move further. If you guys are not able to understand here, that's fine. I will show you with the examples also. Okay, where will function run in micro or macro? See, callbacks are always function, and they do not run there. They just stay there for some time. Run always happen in call stack. So if you want to correct your question, then I think it will be make more sense, right? Functions never run in callback queues. Any queues, they're always run in call stack. So they just stay there for some time till call stack is not empty. If call stack is empty, they will directly move to the call stack. Okay, Riaz? They just stay for some time. Correct? See, that's the same example. Let's take the same example of get veggies one, right? So so get veggies is there, and then there is parallelly we are running get ones also. Okay, these both are asynchronous function. These both functions have some callback method. Okay, now and in call stack something is running, right? Like some console log we have done, those functions are running in call stack. Now the and we can say after 2 seconds both have completed. Get veggies and get buns both have completed. Now once they completed, their callback will stay in these queues because something is running in call stack, like those console.log. And once those console.log are completed in call stack, then event loop will pick things from these queues and put again in call stack. So that's why we always runs things in the call stack. Queues only we use just for staying things. And then I told you there are two type of queues in the picture right now, which are callback queue, which are also known as macro task queues. And there is another type which is micro task queue. And in the micro task queue, only those callback comes which we are going to keep with promises and mutation server. Those are only going to stay here. And this micro task queue get more priority than macro task queue. So once the event loop has seen like there is one callback in micro task queue and there is one callback in macro task queue, so it will first pick the micro task queue callback, and then it will put into the call stack for running it. And once that call stack is again empty, then it will again check, is there anything else in the micro task queue? No, it's nothing is there. Then we'll go for the macro task. Okay, guys, are we good here? So async function will also come into the this part only, promise, because async and await are the wrapper on the promise only. So they will also come in the macro task queue. Okay, are we good here? Async function will stay in callback queue, then come into the call stack. Yes, that's right, Nilanjan. Will stay in callback queue. No, 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 not in callback queue. They will stay in micro task queue, then come into the call stack. Are we good? See, till now I was just talking about one queue, callback queue. Now I just now I just added one more queue there, and I am just telling that some of the things only come into this specific queue, and this specific queue get more priority. Compare them. See, one callback is coming from promise, and one callback is coming from set timeout. Both are asynchronous. So set timeout callback will go into the callback queue, and the promise one will go into the this one, a micro task. So which one will execute it first? So first, the promise one will be executed. The first one, the first promise callback will be executed, and then the set timeout one callback will be executed. I will show you with this example after explaining about the promise. So just hold on for some minutes. I will show you this example there. Okay, guys. So let's move further now. Okay, so now we have understood callback and everything. So now let's talk about the callback hell. Okay. Okay. So what is callback hell? So as somebody was saying right now that if we are not writing things in a correct way in JavaScript, that could go into the Stack Overflow and like a lot of other problems as well. Or might be, see, if we are writing something in a like something like nested way, then it might be asynchronous one never get chance to execute. Asynchronous callback will never get chance to execute. Do you want to see how this will happen? Just see the example. Let me show you the example. If you are not writing the code in, see, callback hell is simply to writing things in a good way. Otherwise, you might be like taking a lot of time to execute, or you are utilizing fully the call stack. You are not giving chance to any other place, any other execution to happen. Let me show you with the example. Like callback help.js. Okay. So now what we are going to do, we are going to do first, we are going to write one let's try to run one set timeout. Right. This is our asynchronous one. Set timeout function, and this function is called console.log. Hey, I am I am from asynchronous async callback or set timeout callback. Hey, I am from set timeout callback. Correct? And we are going to give him 5 seconds. And I expect that after 5 seconds, this code should be executed. Okay, guys, I'm expecting that this after 5 seconds, this code will be executed. But now what we did after this in the same file, what we did, we are writing some like the synchronous code, right? I'm not like, just understand how things could be uh, problematic if we are not writing things in a correct way. Okay, let's try to write some in the synchronous way, right? So now we have created function first, okay, which is internally calling function second. Let's try to understand this thing. If we do not write things in a correct way, it is just adding something. Let me write second fn, second function. Yeah. Now if we go to this function second fn, now it is calling some third function, right? right? And then if we go for the function third, then it is calling function fourth fn, and this could continuously go on. Correct? I'm saying like this could be going on like till 10 level, right? So now you guys tell me, will and just reduce this time to 1 second. Okay. So now after 1 second, this set timeout will be resolved, and this callback will come into the callback queue. Am I right? For the set timeout, after 1 second, once the 1 second is completed, this callback will come into the callback queue. Right? Are we good here? But somehow we have written our function and our calling in a way that it is not going to empty our call stack. It is not going to empty our call stack, because see, first the first function will be called, then second function will be called, then internally second function will call third function, then third function will call the fourth function, then fourth function will call fifth function, then sixth function, then 7 8, then 9 10. This nesting call continuously will happening, and our callback of set timeout, which already completed in 1 second, it never is, it's not getting time to execute. So that's the problem, right? We have provided time for 1 second, and after that 1 second, our we should not wait for this much time, right? So that is the problem actually happens with the callback also, right? So that's why we should write things in a way, while writing our functions or callback, we should do coding in a way that it should not create like a lot of problem in reading your code. First thing, it should not create a problem reading your code. And your callbacks should not be in a way they are going to like what do we say, stuck like into the main thread only, or like other person cannot get the time to execute. So that's why they are suggesting you to read thing to once you are writing things in JavaScript with the help of callback or function, try to write things in a way so they are easy to maintain or easy to debug. And if that's not happening, then we say that these are some of the problems which JavaScript has. In similar way, the callback also creates the problem. Let me show you that also. Let me show you the call. So did you get understood the problem first? What was happening when we have multiple methods here, which was nesting, calling each other? Yeah, yeah, Niranjan, please tell. Oh, above in comments, okay. It is mandatory to pass a function in set timeout, or we can pass arrow functions, or can we pass any console.log any. So we set timeout has given one structure to us, and set timeout says that it accept a function as a first argument, and the second as a timer, and there is one more arguments we can pass, multiple arguments. I haven't used the third arguments till now, but I have only always used the two parameters of set timeout, which is first parameter is a function, second is the timer values, and that function could be arrow and the normal. Any function can be there. Any function we can use there. But in that function, we can write the console data. In that function, whatever we want to do, we can do. Suppose we want to operation in set timeout. Suppose we want to operation in set timeout? Is it possible? What do you mean by operation? You want to say like after 5 seconds you want to perform some operation? Yes. After 5 seconds, you want to perform any operation, you can write it inside the function. That's the benefit of callback only, right? Callback is a function, and after once the 5 second will be completed, you can do anything inside that function. That function will be triggered. So that's what the callback hell is a problem. Like after 5 seconds, you want to do something, but due to call stack is not free, you cannot do that. So that's why people are suggesting you should write things in a way, though, so the call stack thread should not be blocked. So other things, the asynchronous callback can also be executed. That's all about the callback hell. Okay. So we can use this as a normal function as we do in any. Yes, set timeout callback is a normal function only. It's a normal function. You can do anything inside that. Sure. Let me run it. Parag wants to run this code, so let's run it. See, in this time, it could not be stuck, but let's try to understand. This could be stuck. I have just given the three examples, right? So let me copy this one. Let me share my screen first. Yeah. So let's call which one? First one, right? First one. And let's give little bit less time to this, like 200, like 200. It will be just trying to explain you something. So that's why I'm just giving you the less time. And let's go this to check into the that one latent one only. Let's see if we can paste it and run our code or not. Second one is there. Let's keep the console also so we can understand where are we right now. Console.log. First function. Correct. First function. Second function. Third function. Oh, we haven't created the fourth. Let me create the fourth one also. Function four, right? Should be capital F. And we can write the fourth function. Correct? This is how we will do that. Correct? Fourth function. And now we are calling it. Okay. So let's see. You can see set timeout is completed. Now see, anonymous is there. And now the first function, something is problematic here. Wait. It got stuck in first function. So something is wrong there. So let me see. So the first function, oh, first function is not there. Okay, that's the problem. 1 minute, guys. First function is not there. I just written it out. Yeah, first is there. Let's open the console also. You did okay. Let me see if you guys are able to see my screen or not. Yes, thank you, Vishal. I didn't see your comment. Okay, let's see in the console. Let's see how things will happen. Yeah, so set time was come. Set time was there. So you can see anonymous is there. First has been called. Now second has been called. Third has been called. See, you can see our set timeout one is stuck. Now second one is going. Now third one is going. Now it will take the anonymous one. That is the problem here. So that's what they say, that you write code in a way so your call stack should not get stuck for could not get blocked for a long time. So the other callback can get time and they can execute in call stack. So that's what I want to tell you with the example of call stack. Okay, callback problem. Correct. And if you see their problem also, yeah, if you see their problem also, so what they are trying to do in their example, they have created one cheese method. Then they created patty method. In that patty method, they are passing cheese. So they are calling cheese, like internal calling is happening. Cheese. As I was calling the first function, fourth function. Then they are bun. Then they are internally they are calling patty. So it means, see the how the flow is going from the burger. They have first set the set timeout, and then set timeout the bun is calling. Then bun method is calling the patty method. Then patty method is calling the cheese method, right? And then at the end we are getting the let's make a burger. If you see the response here, so let's make a burger will come first, and then these two things will come. Correct? Which one? This one or the one which I was trying? This burger one. Okay. Let me see how can I do that. 1 minute, guys. Let me paste that code. It's a 16th or 15th. Which class is this? 16th, 15th, right? Yeah, it's a 15th. Let me paste it. Yeah, got the code. Yeah, 1 minute. Which I wrote that one. No? Okay. See, these are very, I would say, like the play things. You try it on your own. Okay, guys. So we have understood the callback hell now. Let's see what we have next. I think we will jump into the promise very soon. Let's see. Okay, so callback hell is there. You understood callback hell. Okay, timer. So now let's talk about the timers also. Then we will move into the promises. So now there are two type of timers in the JavaScript. Okay, guys. Can you repeat visualization part? Visualization part. You mean this one? Let and flip one. Let and flip. You mean Riaz? Uh, Riaz, are you still there? Are you talking about this example which we discussed? Yeah, that one only, right? Let and flip. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what is happening in this example? So I was trying to explain here, if we are not writing our synchronous code in a good way, then our other things can stuck here. 1 minute. We should not write a code in a way so the call stack will always be busy here, right? So that's why I tried to show you that if we are using one set timeout, which is going to complete very quickly in 200 seconds. Okay. Video, no audio. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Can you? Okay. Video is gone for 2 minutes. So, like at that time, Are you guys able to hear me or not? Or you were just okay? So you guys are not able to hear me as well. Okay. I see. Okay. So yeah, let me share my screen and what I was trying to explain. Let me explain that to you. Okay. So as Riaz was asking about the latent flip one, this thing. So I was just trying to explain that one only. So let me try to explain that again. Okay, guys. Are you able to see me now? Okay, thank you. So yeah, so Parag, with like what I was trying to explain here, that we should not write a code in that way so our call stack got blocked, because in this example you can see we I was trying to use set timeout, and in set timeout I was trying to execute this function after 200 milliseconds, but somehow I was not able to do that. Why? Because I write a code in a way, synchronous code, so our call stack was never got freed. And that's why it has taken more than 200 milliseconds to execute this callback. So let me show you how. So you can see now our callback has been completed, set timeout one. But somehow second function, first function, third functions are going to be executed. That's why our callback is stuck in the callback queue. Now once everything is free, once call stack is free, then our set timer function got called. So the purpose for telling this is just simple that so we should not be writing code in a way so which make our call stack got stuck. We should be thinking about, like, when we are making any API call, at that time we should think like, yeah, okay, that much time it is going to take. Once the response is there, are we going to our like once the response is back, is our call stack is free right now or not? If not, then we should not write a code in way. There are ways to write things in JavaScript, and that we will discuss, like why we are doing this. Like, we should not make our call stack so much busy every time, so the other thing cannot execute. That's what people has started saying as a callback hell problem. Okay, guys. So that's what I was trying to explain. Okay, so now moving further on the timer. Are you guys able to see my screen? Not the screen. Are you guys able to see my slides about the timers? Okay, great, great. So in timers, there are two type of timers: set timeout and set interval. People sometimes ask the difference between them. What is the difference between set timeout and set interval? So the set timeout is we provide some time, like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 5 second, and after that time we want to do some of the task. Correct? After that time we want to do some of the task. That's the meaning of set timeout. And the meaning of set interval is like after that much time we want to do the same thing again and again. Interval mean after this interval do this, after this interval do this, after this interval do this. So like after 1 millisecond we want to like every time check something. So that's in those places we use set interval. Like after if just simply uh, take the example of what we say. Have you guys seen the ClickWatch website? Right, ClickWatch website. Yeah, you see that every some second, like score got automatically updated. If you guys have not seen, like there is one website of cricket where we see that like live score we can see that. Quickbuzz.com. The website is Quick. So like Quick, or might be stock market. Why not take the stock market? I'm sure you guys have seen the up stocks or stock market, right? After some seconds, those automatically got updated. Correct? Auto refresh. Yes, that auto refresh. So that's what the purpose of set time interval, right? After this interval, refresh the things. So that's the purpose of set interval. I was just trying to convey you some message about the set interval. That's how the set interval works. Okay. Yes, that's what the set interval work in a similar way. Let me show you some example now. Let me share my screen and share some example with you. Okay, guys. I think like before that, let's try to understand some more thing in the set timeout. So there is set timeout, set interval, right? Then there is clear timeout also. Like 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 when that person when this particular thing could be used for us, like you can say that you were waiting for something like in 10 seconds, like you were waiting for some data to come in 10 seconds, but somehow that data come in 5 seconds. So now what you will check, now what you will do, after 5 seconds you want to stop that timeout and wants to go into the callback queue. Because see, if something in the set timeout, it will stuck in the web APIs till that 10 seconds has been spent. After completing 10 seconds only, that particular callback will come into the callback queue. Then it will go into the call stack. But somehow, in some cases, you want to you want to go before that in some scenarios, like in 5 seconds. So on those scenarios, they have provided a way to clear the timeout also. So that method is clear timeout. You need to pass the timeout ID. I will show you how to get timeout ID, and then simply that timeout will be neglected. So that's what about the clear timeout. In similar way, we have the clear interval also. Set interval is there. Set interval also accept the same thing, function and millisecond. Correct? And clear interval is also there, in the same way, like after 5 seconds you do not want to like refresh the page, or you do not want to do things. So in those scenarios, clear interval helps us. Okay, so I think we have talked about the four things: set timeout, clear timeout, set interval, clear interval. You just need to remember these things. If people simply ask what's the difference and how can we clear things, only these things. They never ask you show me how to do that. I'm just saying to you, they just ask the difference, and the difference is very clear. Set timeout is when you want to do something after some seconds, and set interval is when you want to repeat things after some interval, and clear timeout is when you want to clear that same I have said, clear the already set timeout after some seconds. So that's why you will use a clear timeout. Same for the clear interval. How like if already some interval is set, how can we clear that? With the help of clear interval. And they both, clear timeout and clear interval, they both need ID. And then I will show you some examples. Yeah, sure. Let me now share the example. I will just create a like because I want to show you set timeout, and because set timeout already I've shown you a lot of examples, but I want to show you set timeout and like the clear timeout in one example. So I have just created one example just for understanding purpose. Timer.js. Yeah. I hope you guys are able to see my screen. Thank you. Okay. So now what we can do, we can create one loop for let I is equal to 0 and I less than 10 and I plus plus. And what do we want to do here? We want to use first set timeout. Okay, guys. So in set timeout, we will pass one callback always, right? And then we pass some timer. So like after 4 seconds, 4 millisecond or 4 seconds, just print the value of I. Console.log value of I. That's what we simply want to print it. Okay, guys. Let's see how that looks like. So we are in the backend cohort. So let me go into the backend cohort. And if you guys want to see, I will just increase the size as well. Let's see the output here. So this is simple example of timeout.js, like the set timeout. After 4 seconds, they will be printing it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They waited for 4 seconds and everything got printed. Now, now what we want to do, we want to skip some set timeout when the ith value is 7 or 6. Just want to skip on those places. Correct. So what we will do, just creating this example. This is not any real-time use case. I'm just creating this example to show you how the set we can clear it out for set timeout. This is not an example. Just explaining things how the things will working. Const and see every time set timeout math. When we use set timeout, it always written with one timeout ID. So timeout ID is there. Correct. And then we can simply check if ith loop is 7, like if we want to skip 7, we can simply do here clear timeout, and we can pass that id, timeout id. What happened? Oh yeah, yeah, timeout id. What we did, see, this is not real example, like why we want to do that, why somebody will do that. Do not think about that. Just I want to show you how the clear timeout will work. That's why I just created one random example. Nobody will do this way. They will have their own examples, but I just want to show you how things work here, how the set timeout and how clear timeout can work. And then based on your use case, you can use them. So now you will see 7 will be skipped. So let's see, run it, node timer.js. Because we have cleared the timeout for them. Yeah, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. because we have cleared the timeout for that. Once we clear the timeout for that, now this console.log will not run, right? This particular set timeout will not run, but we have registered. Once the 7th loop is there, we have registered the timeout for that, but then we cleared it out. Okay, guys, that's how in 1 second does the loop executed 10 times. Yes, this loop will be executed 10 times only. Yeah, yeah, yes. No, in 4 second. No, no, no. In each 4 second, it is happening, right? So see, in each 4 second, every what I'm saying, in each 4 second, once the 4 second is complete, let's see this thing in the live one. Let we will see there what is happening. Okay, then it will make more sense to us. See, why 7 is not executed? Because we have cleared the set timeout for that. And once we clear the set timeout for that, that particular callback method is also got deleted for them. And once the callback method is deleted for them, now the console.log for 7 will not run. That's why. Let me try to do show this thing here. Then it will make more sense to us. Now we have pasted it out. Okay, do not make function within a loop, missing semicolon. Okay. Okay, let's add the semicolon here. Are we good here? Okay. Mhm. Okay, let's see. Let's try to run this. Let's see what will happen. So now I less than 10. Set timeout has come. I is going to do 7. It's always like automatically it is checking. See, every time all the anonymous is going and 4 seconds they are taking, they all are going to register here. You will see that. I is equal to 7. All the 10 will come at the same time. 10 times we are running the set timeout, but they will be executed one by one. See, till now loop is going. See, when the I is equal to 7, at that time this clear timeout will also run. You can see four right now. 8 has already come. Now 9 has come. See, only 9 will come because correct. Now see, anonymous has started going one by one. You can see 0, you can see 1, you can see 2, then one by one all the callback method which we have in the function, they will be start executing one by one. You can see in the result 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you guys able to see me, right? 6. Okay, 7 has also come here. 8, 9. Okay, so try to found an event because you should add a disabled extension JS or okay. So I was expecting 7 should not work here, but somehow it seems like they are not taking the clear timeout or what. But yeah, we'll talk about that. But are you guys understood what is happening here? The first question which you was asking. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so let's now also talk about the set interval quickly. Then we will be done with the timer part, and then we will go the promise part. Okay, let's see the timer also set interval also. Okay, so in set interval what will happen, yeah, let's think about one example. So set interval also work in the same way, set interval, but the purpose of set interval is we can say we can create one function here, like print f1, right? And then we can provide after 1 second do things, or 2 seconds, yeah, after 2 seconds just run the interval. See, interval, as I was saying, it also accepts in the same way as we are doing the set timeout. First will be the callback function and then the timer, but this will not stop. Like timeout stopped after 1 second, right? But this particular thing will not stop, it will run that thing. Let's see. So function print fn right? And then we can say console.log, hey, I am running in loop, running after, yeah, I'm running after 2 seconds, right? Let's see. Let's see how this looks like. Node timer.js. See, hey, I'm running after 2 seconds. Now, every after 2 seconds, this line will continuously running. It is not going to stop it. Did you guys get did you understood the set time interval? How that works? Are we good here, guys? Okay, now let's try to stop it. Let's try to stop it. So for that, we need to do something. So let's try to do that. We can take one count variable. Let count, and we can define a default value 0. Okay, and then we can get the time interval ID also. Interval ID. Now we want to stop this set timeout after some values. Okay. Now we will do count plus plus. Okay. Now the count will be continuously increasing, and I want to stop this the interval after count is 6. Okay. Let's print the count also. So we would be good like, okay, where are we at the count part? Okay. And then here we will simply write clear interval, and then we will pass the ID, which is interval ID. Okay. So guys, see what we are doing after 6 time. When this is printed 6 time, I want to stop this interval. So that's what I tried. I taken some variable. I was continuously increasing, and after 6 time, I just tried to stop it. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, first time, second time, third time, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then it got stopped. So that's the purpose of clear interval. Okay, guys, are we good with the clear interval and clear timeout? Yes, clear interval function. Yeah, it's a function. Okay. By the way, the code I have already added it into this backend cohort. So I will commit these changes so you guys can get it from there also. Is it okay? Oh, okay. So I have removed the older code. Okay, let me copy it. Let me copy it the earlier one which I was having for the set timeout. So you guys can have that also in the same file. 1 minute. Set timeout. So let me commit it in front of you guys. I'm not sure you guys can able to see me or not. Okay, let me commit in front of you, so you guys are able to see my screen, right? Let me commit it in front of you. So right now there's two files, one for callback hell which we created, then for timer.js. Let's see. So git is status, git commit, git add, git commit -m. We'll write two things here, right? Callback hell and timer, right? And now we will push it. Right now you guys will be able to see it in my repo under the branch day 4. Now this is my repo where you can see day 2. In day 2 I have, see, how will you see the commits? I have 4 commits here, right? You can see the export import example I added here, the export and import. Then I added the npm init one, right? We have the example for npm init which we did discuss on the day 2. Then talking about day 3, whatever I remember I did it, like oops example. There was the oops example which we have given. There was the inheritance one. Then there is the private variable one. All 3 files are there, right? Now go to the today's day 4. We have added callback hell and timer. So this is the callback hell file, and this is the timer file. Are we good, guys? Are we good with the code? Yeah. So now we have completed this clear interval part also. Correct. And there is one countdown timer app is also there, and I would like you guys to create this, because here we are also going to use the set interval. See, countdown timer app means countdown. So like you have seen that whenever there is an offer in Amazon or in Mintra, they say it like after 24 days this offer will be, this sale will be there. Correct? That's what the countdown is. That's what the countdown is, right? So see, what you have to do, like the just with the thought process, just with the thought process. Yeah, I think the code is already there, I think, but yeah, try to understand with the thought process. You have to take the current time, you have to take the current time and the time which user is setting. Like if they are saying after 5 days we want countdown, so what you need to do, you need to take their input after 5 days. Like today is, what is the dates today, it's 16th, right? If you want to go for 22, so 22 July will be, from today it will be 6 days, right? Some 6 days, some hours, some minutes, some seconds. 6 days will be there, right? So what you need to do? You need to do simply, you need to simply, okay. So see, let me, okay, just you guys tell me one thing. What we should use here? Set timeout or set interval? Can you guys tell me? Because we want to continuously refresh this page after every second. Yes, we have to use the set interval here. In set interval, we will having the callback method, and in that callback method, we will continuously calculate the difference, the current time difference, and the value provided by user. The value provided by user, it will be 22 July, and some hours, some minutes, some seconds, and the current time will be 16 or whatever hours. So in set interval, after each second, we will again call the set interval. That's what I showed you, how the set interval is working. And then every time we will get the new values, and then we will simply, with the help of DOM methods, we will print the values. So I want you guys to look into the code. If you still face any problems, we will check that into our revision class. Okay. Let's move into the next class. Do you guys want break for 10 minutes, or should we start the promise one? Okay. Okay. So now we can go for break. Right now it's 11:36. So we can come back at 11:42. No. 11:52. Sorry. Or simply 11:50 is fine, right? 11:50 is also fine. We can come back at 11:50. Okay. Take some time break. Yeah. Is everyone back in class? Great. Okay, so now we will start talking about promises. That's what our next topic is going to be. Talk fully about the promises. Okay. So, do we need to wait for 1 more minute, or is everyone in? Whoever was earlier. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I think yeah, most of people are back now. Okay, great. See, so if you guys remember when we were talking about the asynchronous, then we told you the first way to do asynchronous behavior is through callback, correct? Where we were trying to pass callback with each asynchronous function, and then in the callback queue, we were trying to get all the callback methods, correct? And I also told you at that time there is another way to do the similar thing, and that is the way how JavaScript has told us to use promises. Okay, I have also given you one example of that birthday cake, right? When we have a birthday for our brother in next week, then I told my friend Rohan to go there and bring the cake for next week. Then he promised to you that I will bring you that cake, right? And then on the day when the birthday is there, there could be two scenarios, right? The first scenario is a success scenario where he brings the case, then you are okay, then we are good. And then there is another scenario where he didn't bring the cake, then you will say, oh damn, I need to go and now bring the cake, right? This is the second state. So in the and when you promised, like before 1 week, when you promised to your friend to bring the cake, at that time you told to your friend that like at that time you just promised to your friend, and and you are now waiting for the day to come when the birthday is there. So that state is called pending stage. So in the similar way, uh, promises also work. Promises also have three states: pending state, successful state, and failure state. Okay, guys. Promises also has three states. You guys have to remember some of the things, right, about the promises. And after that, we will start coding. So the promises also has three states. First state is pending state. Once you make the promise, that's the pending state. Then there is a successful state. In the promise, we say it as a resolve. We say it as a resolve. It's a resolve state. Then third, it's a reject state. When we are seeing any failures, like when the promise got broken, right? So these are the three states which promise has. Okay, guys. So let me see. Ritik has a message. Sir, one of the example of WhatsApp message sent when internet is off. Okay, so here we can say that when our internet is off, at that time, see, it's similar to like that only, that once you send your message, so WhatsApp has their own server, correct? And that message will be saved there, correct? The sender who has sent the message is right now saved in the WhatsApp server, correct? Now once to whom you have sent, like you have sent to like me, right, Arpit. And once the Arpit is online, so now the my mobile work my mobile task is go to the WhatsApp server and fetch that is there any message for you or not. So that's how the WhatsApp API flow works in this way. That the once I am online, now it's my purpose, now it's my phone API's purpose to check that is there any message for you or not. And if there is any message will be there from you, then I will definitely get that. So that's how I think WhatsApp messaging works. Can we say API call is a promise? Yes. API call are always promises, because in the API call we are not going to get response immediately. Whatever it's not, what see, do not deviate from any other thing. We are still talking about the asynchronous part. The first way to achieve asynchronous is through callback. Now I'm saying now we are just moving ahead because callback has some of the problems which was callback hell, right? Because with the help of callback hell, sometimes it's very difficult to read them, right? So that's why we are trying to now go with the promises. This is the advanced thing which Node.js has provided, which Node.js or JavaScript has provided. Now, like earlier when I started working on, I think in the 2017 or 18, at that time Node.js was not having promises by default. Before that, you have to use some of the libraries like Q, Defer, Blue. One more I remember, Blue Word, something like that. Those promises, those libraries you have to use just to create your function as promise, if you do not want to follow the callback method. But right now, promises are already inbuilt in your Node.js or in JavaScript. So you do not need to use any third-party library to use that. And recently, that part has also been gone because now people has started using async and await. Async and await are still the promise. They are the like sugar coated. If we say that we have coated some of the things on promises, because promises also has some of the problems. I will show you, like some of the problems mean in syntax wise. I will show you how we write, how complex is write promises, right? I will show you in some example. So that's why to reduce that complexity, they have come with the async and await. Very simple, async and await. Just one word. If you will add in front of any method, that method will become promise. And if you are doing any promising work, if you just need to put await word in front of that function, execution will stop there, and then it will wait till whole execution will complete. That's what the async and await. We'll discuss about that. But yeah, till now we have to understand the promise part. Okay. So now let's see the how can we create a promise. Okay. Let me share my screen and let me share with you guys like how can we create a promise. Okay. Let's go into the promise.js. Very simple example I will tell. I told you promise has three state, correct? One is the pending, second one is resolve, third one is the reject. For pending, when we make the promise, and resolve when we are saying, yeah, now everything is good, now it's success part. And then third is the rejected, when we are rejecting it. Okay. So now yeah, just see my screen and see how can we create the promise. Okay. So let's take very simple example. My promise. This is my promise. And how we are going to how we are going to write promise in JavaScript? They have provided this way: new promise, and then it will accept two callback. Internally, it is still callback only. Every promise is going to have the callback only internally. So it will have two callback. One is the resolve. Resolve callback will be triggered when the everything is going successfully, and then second when the reject. Correct? These will be two callback. Two methods, because I told you JavaScript is a in JavaScript function are a first class citizen. So you can pass two functions as well. Resolve and reject are two functions. Function resolve. This is a little complex. That's why they have come with async and await. But just bear with me. That's how we create the promise. Right now, if we try to console my promise, you will see it will come in the pending state. Let me console.log. Let me see how that looks in the Node.js. Node promise.js. We just created one promise. Let's see what we are getting in the promise. Yeah, you can see promise in pending state, because we now this promise has been created. Right now, inside this promise, we need to go and do resolve and reject. Once when this promise will be resolved, when this promise will be rejected. Okay. Now second thing to remember, guys. Once we are so now my promise has two more things to remember, which is the then method and the catch method. Then method and catch method. So then will be when we are going into the successful scenario. In the successful scenario, we are going to get the then here. We are going to we are going to go inside the then part, like function, whatever data we are passing from there. This will be the successful state. We can simply console.log here. Console.log, whatever data we are passing. And in the catch, when we will go, when we are going to reject it. When we are going to reject it, it will be our error. And then we can simply print the error. Right? So you have to remember these things only. Why is this is giving error? Let me check. Okay. Okay. Something is missing. Can you guys see that problem here? Okay, let me see. Unexpected. Oh, function spelling is wrong. Sorry, guys. I think you guys have already told me that in the comment. Oh, thanks, Vishal. Yeah. So that's how this is all about the promises actually. This is how the promise, how we create promise, how we use promise. Correct? So now let me show you how we do that. So we can create it as a function here. Simply like the function here, and inside this function we can return the promise. We can simply return the promise. This is how we write the promise in our function, or in the arrow style also we write in the same way. But I'm right now following the older one. So yeah, this is how. Now what we will do, first we will do the resolve. Let's call the simply we will resolve. uh, um, it is resolving, correct? So now I'm expecting the data should come here in the then part. Let's see. Yeah, data, it is resolving, correct? Now if we will do the reject with the same value, reject, it is rejecting. Now it will come into the console.log part. It is rejecting. You can see in the error part. Are we good? Are we good, guys, with the resolve and reject? So that's how the promise works. Right now, we are, see, in this example, yeah, resolve and reject are two callbacks. In this example, we were not doing any asynchronous thing. This was all things are happening synchronously. That's why resolve and reject immediately came. But now, let me show you some set timeout, which is going to be do the asynchronous behavior. Let me show you that also. Let's take the set timeout here inside the method only. After 2000 millisecond, I'm saying resolve it. Say I am resolving after 2 seconds. Now you will see that the data will come after 2 seconds here. Now we are waiting here. Now these things are not running synchronously. Now we will wait here and then we will see the data here. Correct? So let me run it. Note promise. Now we are waiting here. Now after 2 seconds, this data we can get it. This is the magic which we had with the promises. Got it, guys? And now, like in the similar case, we can reject it also. This after 2 seconds, we can reject it also. Like we are checking for any API's data, and then we found that after 2000 seconds, still that data didn't get to us. So we can simply reject it. You will see the same here after 2 seconds. We are waiting. 1, 2. Now we are coming. Hey, I'm resolving, or sorry, rejecting. I can write here after 2 seconds. So the simple purpose of promises, we most of the time use it for the asynchronous behavior. Right now, where we are writing the set timeout, in those places we simply write our database queries. Simply we write some like server URL to fetch data from there, and then we wait for there. And once the data comes to us, then we resolve it. Now you can see resolve and reject is in our hand, right? Resolve and reject is in our hand. Now we can do resolve and reject at any time. Correct? Now let's take that cake example again, which we were talking about the very in a similar way, right? Which we were talking, right? So let's take that example only. So we can say that the cake type, right? We can pass the cake type also. Cake type, cake type here, and we can say that cake promise, bringing cake promise, because that's what Rohan has done, right? Bringing, or simply we can write cake promise, right? Cake promise, correct? Now this is the cake promise which we have done, right? Now, yeah. Now we are done. Now we can say if our cake type is simply, I'm just trying to create some example to make you guys to a little bit more understand. If our cake type is strawberry, we can simply say strawberry. Then we are going to resolve it. Then we are simply resolving. Yeah, we are happy. We are simply going to resolve it. Yeah, thanks Rohan for bringing cake. Thanks Rohan for bringing cake. Bringing cake. Correct. And if it is not strawberry, then we can simply reject it. Like, damn Rohan, I have to go. I have to I have to go and bring now. Right? This get right now it's still synchronous, right? We are not doing anything asynchronous here, but we can do it. I have shown you that, right? So now we can pass here like strawberry, the same one, same meaning which we did there. So now we will see the output here. There is some error. Let me check. My promise is not defined. Oh, okay. We have changed the name, so we have to take the cake promise now, not the my promise. Okay, guys. And let me do the again run it. Yeah, data. Thanks Rohan for bringing cake. Now, if we are not bringing the strawberry, we are like vanilla. So we'll see the error. Now, if Rohan has brought vanilla cake, so let's see. I'm Rohan. I have to go and bring now. Understood, guys? How this is working right now? Resolve and reject. Yeah, it's easy actually. But these are some of the syntaxes which are very difficult to read here. Correct? Let me commit this file for you. Git st promise. I posted, yeah. Now, now the promise actually provides some more methods to you, like the promise.all. Okay, so there is one question also. Sir, instead of using function inside then and catch, can't we directly write console? No, these are callbacks only. So we have to see if we are going to follow the arrow way, then we can do simply like this. Let me show you the arrow method also. We can simply do this. See, data and simply this console.log data. Very easy. We can do this same we can do for error as well. We can remove all these things. But yeah, inside catch always it will be a callback only error, and we can follow the simple arrow function. I think you guys have already know about that in the JavaScript classes about the arrow function. You can see how that looks like now. Very easy. See, this is the code only we did. That's what the promises has come into the picture. Lot of less code, right? And we can see the same output node promise.js. See, damn Rohan, I have go and bring now. Got it? Yeah, this is easier, and actually, yeah, in real life, when you will do the programming, so you will write things in this way only. It will make like that's why people have started using arrow functions in year 6 when they have introduced the arrow functions. So everyone has started using arrow functions because they make the code reading very easy, and a lot of less things to you have to write only also. Correct? Okay, so now I want to bring one more thing to in this, like this could be one promise, right? This could be one promise here, but now there could be like multiple things are happening in the same party, right? First is bringing cake. That could be one method, right? Then there could be I can also write it like one method could be bringing cake, bring cake, right? This could be one promise. The second promise could be bring like bring drink, or the like in the parties whatever bring fries, whatever happened, bring fries. This could be another promise, correct? Then there could be like serve drink, correct? This could be another promise, right? So now the promise has provided us a one way. Now we want like once the party will start, all these things will happen, right? If we have the top, like if we say we have the top promise, which will start which could be prepare party, right? Prepare party or prepare promise. Somebody has promised you, I will prepare the party, correct? This will be our the top level, that the first one. And inside this, we are simply creating multiple promises here, right? And then we are calling one by one them, like bring cake, right? The bring cake is there. Then we have bring fries, right? Then we have serve drink, right? Serve drink, right? These are the scenarios. Like this happened, right? If this is the prepare promise, and then inside this, all these things are happening, correct? Like, are you guys following me? In this prepare promise, I can do multiple promises, right? I can for one party, I need cake, I need fries, I need someone to bring drinks also, right? Correct. So these things could be multiple promise. So now, rather than calling one promise after another, the promise provides some of the methods. So like this, rather than when we have independent promise which are not dependent on each other, like bring cake is not dependent on bring fries, or bring fries is not dependent on serve drink, right? So we can simply do promises are function. Yes. See, these promises are like at the end everything is function, but we are like the promise as we are trying to create that in that promise we are trying to do asynchronous behavior, and asynchronous behavior we are trying to do with the functions only, because promises help us to give us the view of asynchronous, right? Because we want to do some of the things which we do not want to do it right now. That's why we are saying we want to follow the asynchronous way. In this case, the prepare promise is we I don't want to prepare party just now. First go and bring cake, go and bring fries, go and serve drink. When all these things happen, then only comes to me and say that now prepare promise, prepare party is ready. Now you can start the party, correct? So that's why I created three promises here, three methods which are going to be different promises. And now, so now what I want to tell you here, the promise also provides some of the methods like promise.all. This is one method, promise.all, where you can provide one array here, and then you can pass all the method directly. Bring cake, bring fries, and then serve drink, because these are some independent methods. And then there is the dot then, and then dot then will provide you all these three variables, whatever data which we are giving. First data will be, let me do it down. Then the first data would be cake, cake one, cake. Then second would be fries. That would be sorry, I was writing somewhere else. Second would be fries. That would be drink, right? And then we can simply use one by one all the values. So these are some of the methods you guys can read about lot about the promise.all. There is promise.any. and promise.raise is also there, because in the promise.all scenario, if any one of the promise is failing, so all success one will also go into the catch scenario. Yeah, I will correct that, no problem. So see, just try to understand the meaning here. See, right now we are in the promise only, so they are also going to discuss the promise. We'll discuss the promise hell, but promise all also. So promise dot all, how it works? We are going to pass independent promises in one promise dot all array, correct? And then once we follow the promise at all, then we will get all these three. Like if we are passing three promises inside that, then we will get the three output, right? From these three different promises. And the reason why promise dot all sometimes didn't work, if any one of the promises is failing, then all the other promises who are passing, we will still go into the catch part, right? So that's fine, no problem. So you guys can read about more about that. So that's what the promise is. Let me give you one more example of the promise which they are showing in the screen. Okay guys, we will do this one also. Oh, okay, meanwhile, if you guys have any question, you can just ask right now. Is it like Kareem, you can say, when we talk about the currying, so when what we do in currying, we call internal multiple methods, right? So like one method, then again one method, then again one method. Yes, it looks like it is doing the currying only, but the purpose of currying is different, and the purpose here, because in currying we generally say that everything is happening synchronously, everything will happening on the call stack, but here in the promise case, everything will happen through the asynchronous behavior. Everything will go into the micro task queue, and then from micro task queue, all the callback will come into the call stack. But yes, we can do the chaining here as well. Like see, in the same example, let's take another example. Promise. I am just creating another file. Promise chaining, chain.js. Okay. So let's create the first method for let's start with make burger, right? Let's take that example. Okay, screen not share. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so let's take the example of make burger, right? So for the make burger, so and make burger and serve it, right? So according to the promises, so it will be the make burger would be the first promise, correct? And in this promise, it will be providing us the then method, correct? Then it will be providing us catch method. If something wrong happen in the make burger, we will be directing in error part, where we are simply writing no burger, correct? And if we got the burger, then we will be writing here, we will passing it to the serve method, correct? We will be serving the burger here, correct? Are we good with this line? Like the make burger is our main promise, and then we are passing that to server. Like serve could be simple function here. Let me write that serve also here. No problem. It could be synchronous function. Function serve, right? And then we are passing here data, which could be console.log burger is ready, and we can print the data also. Okay, this is simple. This is simple flow I have created. Simply what people do that. Now let's go for the make burger also. This could be our main promise, right? So const make burger. I'm just following the like the arrow function syntax, right, guys? This could be this, and then we can add our new promise here. Correct? Or might be that promise can be other places, like make burger would be the first step would be get veggies, right? That's what we are discussing till now. Function get veggies, correct? This would be our function, correct? Which will be returning one promise here. return new promise. This is how we write things there. Resolve, comma, reject. I am following the Faro, like the arrow function syntax. So let me know if you guys not able to understand somewhere. Now this is our get veggies, and now I'm thinking like it is going to take some minutes, like set timeout, where it is going to go for fridge and then bring the things from there, right? So now function is going to take 2 seconds. Then we are going to resolve it, and we are going to resolve it with, we are saying remove this one. Okay, we are going to say that we are going to return it like veggies are ready. Veggies are ready. Okay, this is our first promise which we have created. Correct. Like in one of the projects, we are going to make burger and serve burger. Correct. Now the first method, the first step was to get veggies. So what I did, and that get veggies is not going to be synchronous because something is going to take some time there. That's what I did here. I just created a set timeout where I'm thinking like it is taking 2 seconds to bring the things here. Correct. Right? And then we are just now how we will call this. Now we'll do get veggies here, get veggies, and then simply dot then. Correct. Now dot then. Now inside this dot then we are going to do the next step, because we want to do the next step after only once the resolve has come. Correct. So we will see here. So we'll see the data again, and this data will be veggies is ready, and we are going to pass this data to cut veggies, or we are going to cut the veggies. Correct. Now we can create again the next veggies also. Function cut veggies. This could be another promise in similar way. This could be another veggies. Now we get the veggies. Now we are cutting them. Correct. So now we are going to pass this data to here. Now we are going to have the data here also. Now we can write here like final veggies are ready. Are ready. And if you want, we can print the console also for the data. And then this one is also going to take 3 seconds. Correct. And then we can now how we will call the cut veggies. Now we will do again wait, let's bring it down, and then let's bring this dot then also down. Yeah, now it looks good, right? And now let's bring this also down, cut veggies, and then we can go for again then. And then here we can again get the data, like the data, and then simply do this. And then we can go for the next step, which is the get bun. Correct. So that's what I want to show you, that this could be like currying, as the Ekta was saying, because we are going to call next method one after once the result is coming from the previous promise. Then we are calling again. As you can see, first we call the make burger. The make burger first time called the get veggies, and get veggies has taken 2 seconds to resolve this set timeout. Correct. Once that resolve is completed, now this will come into the then part. Correct. Where was that? Yeah, get veggies then part. Correct. In that we got the data. Now we are calling the cut veggies inside. Then we are again getting the data. Then we are going to pass that data to get one. Correct. So that's how the that's how the promise chaining happen. Okay, guys, are we good with the promise chaining here? That's how the promise chaining happen, right? So and and sometime also these promise chaining converts create a promise hell problem also. As you can see here, see, if we talk about the success scenario, everything is good, everything will be going to the then, and then at the end we will get the result back. But somehow somewhere to you think in the get one method, somehow like if in the real scenario, if we talk about in the get one method, you have identified that one bun has been rotten, or somebody has already eaten it. So now what you will do, now your get one method will reject that promise, right? Now that get one method will reject your promise. Now you need to track to the previous one, correct? Now you need to track to the previous one. Okay, I think this example is little bit complicated, like this little bit not good, because I think in this scenario you will simply directly come to the catch part, and then you will show that the burger is not ready. But let me give you one more example, not this one. Consider you are CEO in your company. Okay, guys, consider you guys are a CEO in the company. Now in that company there are multiple like roles below you, like first are CEO, then VP, then director, then manager, then someone else, then the teams are there, right? And now you have told them that you do not have times to do everything, so you will instruct them to do things to your bottom one, and then you will tell them after this much time I want the status back. Correct? You will tell to the bottom one that I want this task to complete it in this much time, and at this after completion, give me the status. Okay, that's what the you will say to your team, and your bottom ones will also do the same. Your BP will also say to the engineering team, like the director, and then director will say to the like the bottom team managers, and then team lead and these things. Okay, in the success scenario, everything is good. You said to your BP that you want this thing in like you want one project to complete at the evening. You told this to your VP. VP told to your directors, and then director told to your manager. Then manager told to team lead, and team lead has told to team. Everything is good. We are good. But in the false scenario, somehow in the same time when somehow one engineer from the engineer team, one engineer was not on the vacation, right? One engineer is not is on the vacation, or is on the sick leave. So at that time, now we have to do. Now what do you need to do? You need to first tell, now that engineering team has to first tell to the like team lead, then team lead has to tell to the like manager, then manager has to tell to the like their engineering manager, or to the BP, right? And then BP has to tell to the the CEO. So you can see sometime when in the success scenario it looks good, but sometime in the like the in the bad scenario, sometime it creates little bit chaos, and sometimes it is very difficult to identify from where exactly the issue has started. So that's why they say they have some of the scenarios where they say that the promise hell is also occurs into the picture. I have one article, how to escape promise hell. I'm sharing it with you guys. You guys can read about it more, how they are resolving it. And if you still face any problem, let me know about that. Okay, guys. I hope you understood the example. What happens sometimes, because right now we are just talking. I have taken example of just 10 to 12 people, but in the system it's not work like that. There are a lot of things are happening there, so that's why tracking back is little bit difficult. So that's why sometimes we say that it's a promise hell problem. Okay, guys, do you guys have any question on that? Do you guys understood the concept of promise hell, why we are saying promise hell can happen here? Okay. Okay, so do you guys understood the promise first? How we are doing, how we are creating the promise? Yes, Misal, that's totally right. We need some more practice, because, and I'm saying you, the promise part is fine. Async and await is the one who we are going to use lot in our programming. So now after that, I'm going to show you the async and await only, and then I think we will be good to understood the like this. This is async and await, which is going to be used like many places. Okay, guys. So let's try to create this async and await. You will see how easy you will do things. Async await dot js. Now we will create a like we can create two functions which are just simply returning the promise, which are simply returning the promise. Okay, so write it as they have also given the example. We can follow the same example. They are creating three functions here, and then they are returning the set timeout on that function. Okay, then they are resolving the okay. So let's try to do the similar thing. Const first, we will create the three functions here. We are following the arrow functions. New promise. Then we are going to have resolve. Resolve is going to return us set timeout. Oh, not interval. Set timeout. Function. In the promises, what we will do? Oh, no audio. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, by the way, I think I haven't shared my screen. You guys tell me. Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen now? Okay, no problem. Nothing is missed. I will just explain it again. No problem. Okay, guys. Okay. So I have created three functions here, which are the promises. So let me correct the name also. Let me take the previous example only. Get fries one. So get fries. This is our get fries method, which is simply returning one promise with timeout and get fries. The second one is the same methods. Second one are get cake. You guys have not missed anything, guys. I just created these functions till only. Get cakes, okay? Get cakes. And then that could be get soft drink or get drink simply. Get drink. Get drink. Let me explain you again these three functions. So I have created three different tasks which are going to be asynchronously, which are going to run asynchronously. One is the get fries. It is going to be take whatever time, I don't care. But in this particular scenario, it is going to take 200 milliseconds, and then it is going to be resolved. Correct? In similar ways, in the get cakes, also it's going to be like we can take 3,000 milliseconds. After 3 seconds, get cakes is also going to be ready. Then after 4 seconds, our get drink is also ready, right? We have created three different asynchronous functions who are going to take little bit time. Correct. Now we need one function to call this function. So that would be a function like what should we give the name? start party, something like that. Start party, correct? And then we need to call these things: get fries, get cakes, and here. So now, because these are all asynchronous function, so now what async and await says, when you are going to call any asynchronous function, before that function you just need to add one keyword, and that keyword will be called as async. And inside this function, now you can call directly this function. No need to use then or anything here. Get fries, get cakes, get cakes, and get drink. Simply you need to call this thing. And before these functions, you just need to add await, because these are asynchronous functions. Await and await. And we will call only start party. And why we added async in front of a start party? Because we know that start party is not going to give these results immediately. So that's why we added the async function. So we told that this start party is going to be asynchronous. And inside this function, we are going to make some asynchronous activities. Those activities are get fries, get drink, get cakes. Okay, guys. Now you will see that once I run, and how we will access the get, how we will access the async method, that we will access in the same way. Start party dot then, and then we can see whatever we are returning here. Right now we are not returning anything, but I will return, no problem. Console.log, the data part, and then we can use the catch as well. We can bring this cache down, and error. Can you see that how much code you have been reduced? Earlier you were writing new promise and so many things, right? Now you can see how much less code you have to do. You need to write new promise or anything like that. Whatever function you want to make asynchronous, you just need to do async there. And at the end here, you just need to return whatever value you want to return here. Return test, like return test you can do. Are we good, guys? Can you see the difference between the new like the promise and async and await? How much easily you are now able to do things? Otherwise, after get price, you need to do dot then you need to call the get cakes, then get cakes will dot then you have to go for get drink. Very complicated process, right? So that's why async and await make things little bit easy. Let's see what are we able to print the console or not. Let's see. See, we are not providing console. We are providing the values. So let's see. These values we should get, right. Get price is providing this value to us. The get price. So let's see. Are we getting the values or not? Let's see. Const price. We will print these values. No problem. Let's see. And it will be const cakes. Okay. Then const drink. Right. Let's return these three things only. Let's see. Are we able to return it or not? So we will return fries, cakes, and then drink. Let's see. Are we able to see it in the console or not? Or if we are facing any issue? We will see. Let me run this file, the async and await one. So it is coming as a undefined. So somewhere something we are missing, right? We should be getting the values here. So let's see what value we are getting here. Console.log and fries. Because I am expecting this result should give me this value to me, right? And let's see why it's not happening. Price. Are we getting here price? Let's see. Okay, so we are not getting, and we are getting undefined here also. So possibly, uh, mhm. Okay, so we are resolving this and we are passing this value to the method. So I should get the fries here. Mm, okay. Are we not doing the return or something? That one is missing. Let me check. Is it that? I think I don't think the return is this problem there. Okay. So, okay, return is not a problem. Let's see the case here. We have to call fries. We have already called fries, right? Get fries, and it should return the like simple values. This correct? Let's see what they have in the slides because the similar example they are also have in slides. Let's see. So resolve is there. Await. They are using a there. Weird. And then we are returning that. Okay. First, second, third. They are calling a. As you can see in the slide, they are also doing the similar thing. Const first, and like in the second approach, if you see the second approach in the synchronous one, you can see they are calling await a. I'm not sure about how that a comes into the picture, but it should be first only. Okay, no problem, guys. So I will see that, but it should work, right? Let me check in the internet if I could find something about the async and await. Just 1 minute, guys. Huh? See, as you can see this example, as I was seeing in the one of the website, they are also working same way. So you can see here. So they have created one async function, and then they have their promise there, correct? And after 1000 second, they are simply resolving it, correct? And then in the same line, they are calling the await promise there, right? And because this is not a function, so that's why they have a function. And then you can see in the result we are getting that done. We are also trying the similar thing, right? So we have this async function start party similar as their f function, correct? And then we have await get fries. So we can say this is the get fries function, right? And let's see, get fries is a function which is having new promise, resolve is there, everything looks same, set timeout is there, and then we are simply resolving the get price there, correct? Everything looks same to me. Is there any difference, guys, you guys are seeing? And then I'm trying to print the fries here. That's what they also tried. Okay, let me try to look into this one more. Could be missing something. Okay, guys, so let me check this part, and I will also share this example with you guys as well. Okay, scroll down on the same page or in the my code. Let me share my screen again. So that this thing for scroll down. So this is a scroll down which we are doing. We are calling start party, and then we are just simply doing then, and I'm just simply printing out the data. I'm expecting fries here. The fries should come. I'm just following that document which they have suggested. So get fries is there. Okay. We call the method. We are returning the promise. Oh, is it the return new promise we have to write? That's the concern in the method. Let's see. If we do the return new promise, will it help us? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was the problem actually, guys. Can you see that? That was the only problem. We were not returning anything. Okay, so let's return it. So we are not returning it. So that's why from there directly it is returning as undefined. I see. Okay, guys. So now you can see that the then and everything, then catch, we do not need to do anything here with the get price. We can simply do await, and whatever we are resolving, we will get it here. You see, now let me run the file. Node async and await. I'm just expecting price, cake, and drinks. It is taking its time, like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, whatever time we have given. And then you can see all the outputs are here. Get fries, we got the get fries as well, get cakes and get drinks. Okay, guys. So what I was missing. So line 37, you were saying that then, yeah, we are doing that, right? So we are calling the start party. This is the async function, right? That's why we are calling it with the then. Are we good, guys? With this example, let me first add it to the repo so you guys can see it. Async await push. Okay, no, hit push, yeah. Yeah, okay, this is another file. Okay, that's fine. I will commit this one also later. I will correct that. And okay, let me come back to the async await again. And let me see if you guys have any problem with this. Yeah. So can you guys see the code? In case one, in case one got rejected, then see in yeah, that's a good question. Parag has asked if somehow somewhere we are rejecting, how we are going to get the data here. So that's why the every time whenever we are writing try, we need to go with try and catch, try and catch. We need to do all these things inside the try, inside the try, and then we need to have catch here where we will having going to have our error, and then here we are going to return our error, return our error. And let's try this one also. Let's see it works or not. Console.log error. Let's see this works or not. Okay, guys. And like we can say this is inside start party. Let's see. Let's see this case also. Let's try to reject one of them from here. Let's try to reject them. Okay. So we are trying to reject the last one, the get drink one. Okay. Let's see what happened in this scenario. Correct. Let's see. So now the get fries will goes, get cakes will be successful. Now the get drink should be throwing the error. Let's see. So it is saying, oh, sorry. In the resolve, I haven't put the reject here. So that's why the reject is not defined. Error was coming. Let me see there. Let me correct it. Yeah, I have corrected it. Let me run it again. Let's see this time what happened. Okay, so I think we got all as a true. Why is that? Okay, we are rejecting here in the get ring. So let me see if I'm doing it correctly or not. Okay, we are rejecting it, and that reject should come here. Okay, await is we are doing good. Okay, it should throw error about that. It should come under the catch part. Okay, okay. Let me check this part, guys. But how we handle the errors, that's the only way in the async and await. We should take, no, no, actually, that's fine. Actually, if we are not going to use the resolve, then no need to take both things. We can take one thing also. That's fine, right? That's fine, Ekta, yeah. So now, what now the scene which we are facing here, that somehow that reject is not throwing the error. So I think I might need to correct something here to throw the error properly, because we are not able to throw the error, and it is taking it as a success result, the drink. Because see, we are passing the get drink here, so I think I need to do something here to throw the error. So with reject only, then only we will get reach it here. Let's see. Let me see one example here, which I was already sharing with you guys. Let me see if there is any error scenario they have taken. No, they are talking about the success scenario. 1 minute, guys. But yeah, the reason, like how we handle the errors, that's the only way. Yeah, I think this is the way. Like, let me do. Okay, let's try this thing. Yeah, let's try this thing. Yeah, the correct way to throw error. I'm not sure it will work or not, but let's try. That's what I told you, right? We are throwing the error in wrong way, it seems. Let's try to not throw it like this. Let's try to throw the proper error. We are now throwing the error here. Like one extra curly braces came. Yeah. Right, guys. Now we are trying to throw error. Oh, I'm trying to resolve. Wait, wait, wait. Yeah. Try to throw it here. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see this time. Is it able to read it properly or not? Let's see this thing. Yeah. Okay. We got some error. Yeah, you can see there. The fries is there and cakes is there. And now drink is throwing us error. Okay, so okay, so in this case, what it does, because we were able to properly hand like because with the help of try and catch, the above two got successful, and we are properly handling it, fries and cakes. So that's why that error got added to this part. But somehow, if some ways this particular some there is some system level errors, right? Which errors which are not easy to catch, like uncaught errors. Those errors we will caught it here. But I think in the reject scenario, this will be here only. This particular drink will come in this scenario only. Because you know why it is happening, because we are the one who is rejecting this thing, and we want to handle the reject as well, right? So that's why what await is doing, it is handling both scenarios. It is handling the resolve as well as in the reject part. But as a best practice, they always say that try to use try and catch together. Okay, guys. So see, once we are resolving or rejecting, await is handling both result in same way. It is not doing any discrepancies while handling the result. If it is successful, it is still saving in drink. If it is throwing any error, it is saving it into the same variable, right? But if there is any uncaught exception comes, which is not able to handle in the try, then we will come into the catch part. Okay, guys. So this is about the async and await, how we are going to handle errors. And I will create some more examples about the errors part, and then I will share with you guys about the error scenarios which are happening on the async and await. Is it okay with you guys? Yeah, I will. Okay, so there is someone who wants to talk, so let me accept the request. Oh, it's Ekta. Yeah, Ekta, please tell. Yeah, Ekta, please tell.
Hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, 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 Ekta, you are.
Can you show that this whole slide again?
This one you are talking about?
Yes, sir. So what you're saying is that when we use the reject method to throw
Uh-huh.
error from some particular promise, so when we are trying to catch, like save it in drink, so it does not discriminate between the error and success message. Is that what
Yes,
you're
yes,
trying to imply? Huh.
yes, yes.
So we
That's
have,
what.
okay. So, sir, suppose if we do not put any error parameter in the catch block, it means that we won't be able to, identify that error, right?
Correct.
Like it
You
won't serve the purpose. So we have to specifically put it in the catch block, like other languages.
see,
Catch.
what we generally do that while we are rejecting any request, at
Hmm.
that time we simply throw system level errors. Right now, I was just simply throwing rejecting in a very nice manner, but
Huh.
simply what we do while we are rejecting any request, at that time we are just simply throwing it as a system level. So when we
Some
do try
generic
and
error.
catch, yeah, when we do try and catch, so on that system level errors, catch automatically catches those errors.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
But
but
here
in
we
this
were just
case,
trying to, give an
but here
example.
we are just simply throwing the error with the help of reject. So I will create more example on the throwing error part, and then I think that will make more sense to you guys.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
yeah, thanks Ekta. So I will share this file with you guys in GitHub. Let me first commit this file. Promises with error. Yeah, I pushed the changes there. Now there are two topics remaining, which is the inversion of control and iterators and generators. So I will just theoretically tell you guys quickly about them, and in later class I will just give you more examples into that as well. So iterators are in JavaScript, like some of the the iterators are very core thing in JavaScript, like the array are iteratable, and there are some of the objects which are iteratable, right? And then string is also iterable, right? We can simply iterate the string as well. So now the purpose of iterators and generators are still, you do not want to iterate continuously. See, when you run any for loop in array, and then you put the condition like I barabar 0 to I less than is equal to 10, or arrays dot length, it will continuously go, right? It will continuously execute 10 times, right? But with the help of iterators and generators, you do not you want to do something when you will tell, like now the next item has to come, now the next item has to iterate, now the next item has to display. That is the purpose of iterator and generator. Now they have given control to you rather than everything happening on the JavaScript side. So that's why they have given you now the control, that when you will tell that, then the next thing will happen here. So that's why they are providing something like they provide, I think, one method that's called next method. In each iterable, we will have the next method. Like there are one array. In array, 5 elements are there. Like zeroth index, first, second, third, fourth. So first time when you will do like array name is temp array. So temp array dot next, first element will only come. Then you will do temp array dot next, then second element will come. Then you will do temp array dot next, then third element will come. In this way, iterators and generator works. And why do you need that? There are some of the use cases where you want control on the iteration things, like on the starting of page, like if you take the simple example in UI web pages, right? Like we are just simply like when somebody on the front page, we just want to display 4 elements at that time, correct? All those 4 elements are already displayed. But after some time, when they are on the third side or they have scrolled it, now you want to display four more objects. So now, right, you want to now you like after some time you have control on the earlier values. Now you can do the second iteration as well. Now you will display the eight things in the with the same with the same method. You can now display the 8 values. Now next 12 values after some time. So the point which I want to tell you here, that iterators and generators provide you a way so you do not need to do continue execution. You can stop it anytime, and then whenever you need it, you can simply continue the execution from there. And I will show you how they do that. They provide some next method in the next classes. Okay, guys. So that's how the iterator and generator works. I will tell you the through the coding how these things work. And talking about inversion of control, very quickly we will discuss about inversion of control also. So inversion of control is like it's a design principle in JavaScript. Okay, so let's consider one method called like filter. Okay, you have created one method as filter, and now you are saying this will be filtering two things: non-null, not null, and the empty string. This will filtering two things. Now you have provided one array to that filter. In that array, we are now just filtering two things. Wherever not where whatever element in that array it not null. Let me quickly write it. That's fine. Yeah. So now very quickly it won't take much time, guys. Yeah. This is an array. This is having 4, 5, null, empty string, and 6, 7. And now you are passing this array to filter function. And in this filter function, you are passing this array. And in this filter function, you have written a logic. It will not display null elements and empty string, right? This is the logic you have written for the filter method. So now it will output will be 4, 5, 6, comma 7. Correct? Are we good here? Are we good till here? Okay. So now, but in later stage, after 1 month, somebody else also has come to you that now I also do not want to keep all the element less than 4. Okay, so now what you will do? Now you will again go into the filter. You will again change the rule. Now the rule will be not display null, the same one, and empty string, and not less than 4. Not less than 4. Now this will be your condition. Correct? Now your output will be 5, 6, 7. Correct? After 1 month, somebody else again come, and then it is saying they do not want like undefined values, or they do not want some other things. So that's why whenever you are creating any new libraries, so the inversion of control says you give you give powers to user, whoever is going to use this filter method, rather than you write everything on your side. Rather than you implement all logic, give it to them. Give it to them. So how will you do that? In the same filter array, in the same filter array method, we will pass one more function. Filter array, what I will do, I will pass one more function as a callback, and this function now client will develop. And now once I will see how we'll be filtering it out, we will be putting one loop, right? In that loop we will be traversing arrays dot length. Correct? And then for each array element I will be testing these rules. Now rather than I am testing, I will pass this array, each element of array, into this function. Right? Let me quickly share my screen and show you guys. Just give me 5 more minutes, guys, but only in version.js. Okay. Yeah. So let's create very quickly the filter function. Filter. Right? And this will be having an array. Correct? How will you traversing each element array? You will be having one loop here. For let I is equal to 0 and I less than array dot length. Correct? And I plus plus. And then earlier, what you will be doing here, if array I is less than 4, and array I is not equal to null and multiple conditions, then only like create a new array here. Let new array and then push. You are pushing this those element only where this conditions is not passed. Where this condition is passing, you will only push those elements. Correct? Array I. Are we good till? But now in the future, problem will come, right? Somebody is continuously saying that now this rule I don't want, then I don't want that rule. So now for what should we do? Rather than doing this, we should be 1 minute. Let me copy this one and fix very quickly. Inversion of control says give control to users directly, right? Are you guys able to see my screen? Yeah, great. So now what we will do, rather than that, we will pass one function here and we will say it as a filter function. Once we will calling, we will now we will be passing two things, array and filter function. Now rather than we are doing this logic, rather than we are doing this logic, we will now pass everything to the filter function. Array pass every element in filter function, and then whatever result this one is giving, we will push that into our new array. New array dot push. That is the better way to do the thing. So now call it like whoever is going to call your filter function, then that they will call it like this filter. They will pass one array like 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And they will be also passing one method here. Like what should happen if some value are coming to you? Like you will passing some values, right? The array index, so this will be value, and then they will be putting here rules. Like value should not be greater than 4, something like that. Like value should not be greater than 4, whatever condition they want, and whatever condition they want. Correct? So that's what the no, it's not only for filter. You have to think of, see, the inversion of control is a principle. It's a design principle which tells us that we should be creating functions or creating frameworks or libraries in a way where user have more control, rather than we are writing everything in our own, like we are writing everything and then after some time we are going to customize it, right? So that's what they're saying, like so I'm saying the remove function from filter functions. Oh, okay. Remove function from oh, okay, that one you are saying about. Okay, yeah, did it. I will push it. Yeah. Let me share my screen. Sure. You're talking about this one, right? Are you able to see my screen? What about now? Yeah, okay, great. So you are talking about this one, right? That remove function name from the filter, right? That's what you're saying, correct? Result line, okay. Result line is there, okay. Then we have filter function, okay, yeah. We can simply, but we need some filter callback. We have to give some other name, right? Filter callback or something like that. Filter callback, correct? Because this is the filter method which is coming from the user side. Otherwise, it will call the same filter method and it will be in the recursive way. Yes, yes. Because We need to pass those values to the user based function which user has passed to us, because we do not want to do we because we do not want to do now the condition part. Yeah. So are we good, guys, with the inversion of control? Okay, so let's wrap it here today. So my like I have written the task. The first task is having a more problems on the async and await error scenario, and second would be to talk about the generator and iterator little bit more with examples, and then we will do the like I think next is the revision class, right? So then we will do the next topic, whichever you guys are facing problems. Okay. So let's wrap it today and enjoy our weekends. And in meanwhile, if you guys have any questions on the any of the today's topic, so let's talk today. Today we discussed promise. The I think the bigger part which we had from the today's call, that was the promise, and then we have async and await. That these things only you need to remember. Async and await is the best one you need to remember, because we are going to use async and await in whole Node.js projects, or wherever you are going to work. Async and await you are going to use everywhere. Whatever we read, apart from that, it's just for understanding and knowledge. Tomorrow is our test, so we have class on Monday. We have test tomorrow. Yes, we have class on Monday, and all the best for test, guys. And uh, like at what time you guys have test? 10 a.m. Okay, yes, today's only time. So yeah, I think do the practice, and all the best again. Oh, from 10 to 10, 3:30. Oh, oh, I see. Everything happening online, right? No need to go anywhere or like offline anywhere, right? Yeah, it looks like you guys are, I think, doing a lot of hard, like dedicated. Huh? Fully, you guys are dedicated. Every weekend you are giving tests, taking classes. I think yeah, it is worth it. We all have our module tests, which we have learned so far till and before starting a module two. Oh, I see. Okay, guys. So all the best again for your test, and like we'll connect on Monday. We'll see. We'll read. And today I have said some of the things. I would like you guys to read about the promise hell, the article, and I also want you guys to read about the timer f code once. I already discussed you. We are going to use the set time interval there, but just see the code once. Okay, guys. Okay. So let's wrap it up there, and we'll meet on the Monday. Thanks everyone for joining the class. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone.